Welcome back. So now that we've kind of set up our Angularfire right here on Firebase, let's try and use it. So there's a small example right here, but let's just scroll down and go to installation and setup because we want to add a module. We want to start working with this. And again, let's just scroll down because this is like a clean project. We already have all of this. We've also installed this guy. So the next step would be to kind of add an environment. Inside the environment file, we're going to do something. Now we're going to use two different environment files in our setup. So let's just try and have a look at those. I'm just going to copy this right here from the step 4, the environment, and I'm jumping into my code. Now you have under your source right here, you have an environments file folder, with two files. One is the basic environment. This is just for development. Here you could set up one Firebase, right? This could be the one that's just running for development, right? And then under production, you will have another setup, right? So you could have two different environments, and when we do -- prod like we did earlier to kind of build the dist folder, then it actually goes in and uses this file right here. But when we're working with an ng-serve, not prod, it'll just use the basic Firebase file right here. But what are all these keys we have right here? What's that all about? Well, let's try and implement those. Jumping into my application right here, and let's just start with authentication like this. And here we can start pressing the web setup right here in the corner. And then you'll actually get all that information. API key, auth domain, database URL, blah, 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 blah. All this we need to kind of set up our Firebase right now. We're just going to grab it all. We could start saying we only need some of it. We're just going to grab it all. And I'm going to just paste that into this guy, gajump, and there we go. Now it's going to complain that we are using double quotation. You could start just adding single quotation like this all the way down. Or you can just mark the area and say, well, I just want to go in and edit, and I want to find, and I want to replace all the double quotation with single quotation. Pretty easy stuff to do. Replace all, and boink, there we go. So now we kind of have the information on how our Firebase is set up on dev, and in my case I'm actually going to copy this and have the same on development environment as the production environment for now. Now again, you could set up two different Firebase instances. Go and do that if you want to, but I'm just going to keep this single one. And now I'm actually ready to start working with the specific Firebase on either environment right here. Good. So what's the next step? Now we kind of set that part up, jumping back to Angular 2, installation guide, and of course we need a module. Now you need to first of all go and grab the environment file. Now this file right here is actually the file we just created, right? And depending if we are in production or we are in development environment, we'll either pick this file or this file. Doesn't matter about the module, it'll just need one import right here, and that import is just going to be the environment file right here. That's actually from, and you can just see the path pointing down here. Sweet, so now we have that file available. Now we're going to use that file when we actually initialize our Firebase module right here. So this is kind of how we set up Firebase module, just like we've made so many other beautiful modules. There we go, now we also have the Firebase module initialized, and we actually already hooked ourselves up to a very specific Firebase environment, which is of course this one right here. Sweet, that's actually all you have to do. Now you're connected to your Firebase environment and we can start using it. Now we're going to, in the next couple of lessons, actually move forward, and just scrolling down here is a basic use of working with something. Now we want to work with the auth module shortly, so that's what we're going to do. So let's just try and scroll down, and I'm not going to work with Firestore. I'm not going to bind a list yet, so blah blah blah, scrolling. Notice in the bottom there's also a next step. I'll jump one step here and jump one more step, and I'll jump one more step, and then you'll notice it said something about authentication down here. Nope, querying, just keep going. I know, I'm just showing you how to get through these steps right here. That's kind of boring, but I want you to go to the Firebase authentication step right here for the next lesson. See you next time, have fun.